All right, we're live on Saturday because I have something to do tomorrow at our normal time, uh, 10 o'clock. I know I'm a little early. I may end a little early. The whole schedule has been off, but I wanted to get at least my one weekly live in every week. Um, as most of you, if you do follow the channel, I've been working on a whole bunch of these discount guns and stuff and getting some content put out. People do like to observe it. People do uh, like watching it. And a lot of people are considering, is it a deal? Is it something to get? And the deals, like I've been saying, are it's unreal. Okay. They're lowering the prices of all the stuff you order it online or whatever, kind of it's not the same as getting it in the store. And I've had several people ask me, well, why when I go to the store or why do when I go to the gun show, I can't find a pump shotgun for $100? I said, because they're not getting liquidated through a larger company. Okay. A couple people have told me that they've looked at some of these guns and they're still in that $200 price range to full retail value. Some of these shotguns. But I've been also observing that the prices are going gradually up. I think what it was at 230. I paid for the Caltech P15. Now, if you go somewhere, it's 250. So they raised it by $20. The shotguns have gone up $20 an item, and they fluctuate. I think what it is, they have just such a huge excess inventory. They run the stuff off, and then once they get rid of what they need to get rid of and balance it out, they start taking the price back up again. Those AR-15 shotguns and bullpups, those were, uh, 500. They were over $500. I remember 2 years ago, I went to a gun show and they were all over and all these weird variations. That's what drives you nuts. Is each importer has a different name, a different variation, a different thing about it. There's basically just two designs, at least that I've run across. There may be more. There's two system designs and all kinds of weird variances. Like the Panzer has an extra set of threads and some other kind of muzzle brake along with choke tubes and all this other stuff. Uh, SDS imported Mac 1014. Let's look so I can see what you're talking about. SDS imports. And let's see what you have here. MAC 1014. Exactly what is that firearm? I can't find that. SDS imports. try this here. It's tactical shotgun. Okay. Ooh, $400 at Durham's. Okay. 18 and a half, 5 plus 1. No, I haven't looked at that. But yeah, the shotgun thing with me, once I get the Citadel up and running, I'm done with the shotguns. They were a hassle. The pistols are not bad. And since I'm getting most of these here, yeah, 50. You kind of won't need nothing else in about a 1.5 mile radius around where you are. Morning, Joe. Yeah, those are another neat gun. The only other one I'm tempted is during the Black Friday sale. I may go to Sportsman's Warehouse and get that side by side coach gun, 12 gauge. Morning, Sean. Right. All right. Well, if you all remember last week, we were all going, well, what should we get next? Should we get the Roscoe or get the side by side or whatever? So some other things came up. How do I do that? Okay. Some other things come up. I can't show you the guns, but I can show you the manuals that came with them. We did get a Roscoe with a 3-inch barrel. Okay, when the overview, and then I may get out and shoot this thing next week, but you guys asked for it, you voted on it, and that's what we got. Also, I was waiting for a while and got held up, but Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly, let's see if we can get a picture. This is a strange company. This is the largest manual I've had come with any gun. It's huge. And we got a Grizzly, another Glock clone. So we got the Glock clones, and we can go out and do a comparison both in price and how they dropped and how they work. If they're any good. I got 2 US made ones. I got 2 Turkish ones, and I got my Polymer 80 build, which there was a lot of work I've done with that, but because Polymer 80 was banned and you could lose your channel, I had to delete all of my videos. All right. They still haven't straightened out your housing thing yet, huh? Oh, sorry to hear that. All right. Tacos and fries. I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. No, I had one. I fired him a little bit, and I had a friend that wanted it more than me. I never got around to reloading the 357 SIG. They're kind of a neat pistol, and actually, during one of the panic buyings, it was the only cartridges I could find at a store was 357 SIG. They had a whole shelf full of them, but never reloaded for it. In a terrarium. Yeah, that's the thing about Bear Creek. I'm familiar with it. It's down in Sanford. It's close by. A guy I work with, they were going to hire him. He was, well, he was a little weird to just train the people. Obviously, they have an extensive machine shop, but they don't have good machinists. They got machine operators, and they needed someone to go there and teach people how to be more or less a better machine operator, almost train them to be a machinist. Uh, for me, driving to Sanford every day to work was too far. Too far. Okay, but they have improved. I remember their stuff was really rugged and issues. I bought a lot of things from them, both barrels and a lot of other different parts and pieces, specifically for AR-15s and polymer 80s. I bought a bunch of barrels from them to do polymer 80 builds and that. And I ended up, when they started getting crazy, just selling all the parts and the unfinished frame kits. When I had a pile of them that weren't touched, and when they started cracking down, I sold all that stuff, and it went quick. I got rid of it all. I think I was going to build the real small micro size one. I had the frame and a couple mags for it, 10 round mags. And I was looking at getting it. It would have cost me about $400 or something. A customized, skeletonized slide with an anodized barrel and all this. But then you're stuck with them. You get caught with them. What are you going to do with them? And then they really started, getting crazy about it. So I sold all that stuff. But I did buy a lot of stuff from them. How the hell would I know the answer to that? Okay. Could be any of them. All right. Watch the videos, see who has good customer service. Just about any major company should be able to repair or have replacement parts available. And always that's a very bad word to use. Okay. If something's popular or something like that, you know, not always. Yeah, well, you can get SIG parts, you can get 1911 parts, that'll fit just about any copy, clone, whatever. There's a lot of guns. Yeah, I haven't been removed yet. You know, waiting to see what goes on. Hopefully it'll lighten up. We've mentioned COVID and the Ukrainian war a few times. I haven't been fined, arrested, or warned, or suspended. I have no idea. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I built one. I built the carbine because I built some pistols or helped these people get them built. And but then again, with the pistol brace thing, what I did is I never had a carbine, so I got a 16-inch barrel carbine. But that's a whole other thing. That was another difficult, very difficult tuning it up. You had to do a lot of research, and the longer the barrel, the more powerful the force because it's a blowback, the heavier the buffer you had to get in there. Pretty wild. But people have also asked questions while we were getting into these Glock clones. They mention holsters. Now, I guess they have these different holsters. Most people want to use these firearms concealed carry, and they're talking about inside the pants holsters. Well, I kind of don't really. I don't do that. I had a few small guns. I had the Taurus Slim, and I had the Taurus had a 380, that real tiny gun. I had a couple real nice leather inside the waistband holsters. And I did a thing where I went and wore both of those guns all day long, went all over my daily routine, and had the guns on there. Wasn't seen by anybody or any of that other stuff, and no big deal. But to me, it's kind of uncomfortable. And the size of those guns, it'd be Glock 19 clones, the size of those guns uh, were, to me, it's too big to tuck inside my belt loop and carry that around all day. So I do it outside. So a lot of people were saying, hey, these foreign guns or even Dagger, PSA Dagger, they go, well, finding holsters and all this other stuff for them. And holsters can be a very expensive proposition depending on what you buy from where and who. Okay. Now, I had this old holster. This was my idea back 30, 40 years ago when I had this. Um, this was a concealed carry inside the waistband holster by Bonanchi. And it's just soft leather. You tuck it. I used to carry in the small of my back. And I had a Polish P35 Radom that I used to carry. It was a pretty beat up gun, but I carried it around. For 1911 fits there, and I think a Browning high power will go in this too. Okay, there's several of them large automatics that fit in there. That was it. And this thing wasn't cheap back then. I forgot what the hell I paid for it. But that was it. And then, somebody goes, well, you get these holsters, whatever. You could always go with something in the nylon that's soft, inside, outside. This is just a basic, like a $10 Uncle Mike's. You put your belt through it. I think you can make it left or right handed. These things come off with Velcro and you just get the gun in there. Sidekick. Yep. Uncle Mike sidekick size number 5. You got different sizes and they give you a general idea. These ain't bad. I think I'm going to use this with the Roscoe because the nylon won't scratch up the blue surface. I don't really want to, go with them plastic friggin' holsters. But curious thing was when I was looking at some of the stuff I had, and at one point in time, I got a couple holsters. It's when I was buying all the Taurus guns, when I was testing out the Taurus guns, when they were getting revamped and knocked down. And I went on Amazon. I'll make a video. And I bought this paddle holster. I got this one, and I got one, I think, for the G3 or something. I can't really remember which one's which. There's a second one that was smaller. It's from one of the Tauruses. But this is what came in the box. This here. And it's just your simple plastic holster. You got the screws over here. You can adjust the tension. And it locks down. And you got to, once it locks in, you hit the thing, draw it. And it's outside the waist. Okay, I bought that for that. It's adjustable. The rake's adjustable. So I got this thing and I said, I wondered, is this all the things I'm testing, do they fit in there? The PSA Dagger, yes. The Polymer 80 gun fit in there nicely. The Grizzly dropped down in there, pretty cool. The G2 pistol, a little tight, and the DY9 may have to back these screws out a little more, and then it'll go in there. So all of these pistols fit in this holster. Now, the only other thing I would buy with this is the thing to hold 2 spare magazines. And my goal is, when everything is said and done, to have at least 3 mags with each gun. And then somebody could go and get themselves this in a holder and be ready to be the big pistolero, you know, and go and get into shooting drills and all that other fun shit. No, I didn't. What did they do, I wonder? Just listening. 314, good to see you. Yeah, good morning. See you guys. Yeah, I know. I don't think this thing was $20, $20 or $30. I don't spend more than a gun in gun leather. I don't know. I haven't used them that much to know if they do. Okay. And a lot of the finishes on these guns are some sort of, they're not blued. I wouldn't put a blued pistol in a plastic holster. Put it to you that way. Okay. Going to get a 9mm. You got an upper to go with it? P320 misfires. They're getting sued because it misfires. Let me see. Do, 320. Okay, that's the one where they can change the unit out. What the hell does this thing look like all together? Oh, shit. 320 full, 320, yeah. I remember reading about this Flux Legion. Compact. Yeah, I remember when they came out with that gun. You know, SIGs are okay, but as you can see from the channel, I don't have a collection of them, okay, because they're a bit expensive. And I remember that's the whole idea, the little center tub part or whatever, the mechanism comes out of the frame, and you can convert the gun into all that. I remember when that came out. Misfires. While in the holster. Okay, is that the gun? I've seen videos where the cops move and the gun goes up. One of them did them in the police station and the bullet was bouncing around the lobby. AR-9 and a rifle would be cheaper than a 223. You mean to shoot? Because you can get a 223 AR for a lot less than you can a 9mm carbine. Definitely a pistol I'd never own. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. It's bad enough with these Glock clones. None of them got a manual safety, but I talked to some guy that runs this defense training place and all this, and they all like Glocks because, you know, the idea behind a Glock is training a person that don't know jack shit about a gun. Okay, so it's simple. Finger on the trigger, safety off. Finger off the trigger, safety on. Okay, it's a very simple pistol. They have fixed sights, or you can drift them, I believe, but some of these clones you can't. They're set screwed down, so you can't drift them for windage. And most people say if the sights are on center on a Glock and you're not hitting on center, then the way you're holding the gun and shooting it is wrong. So it makes everything quite simple. And then once you learn the one system, it's pretty simple to take down and do all that. Like, no. But yeah, I forget what Sig made a small concealed carry pistol, and they were like $700-800, and Sportsman's Warehouse or somebody had them on sale for $600 or something, and I knew two guys that bought them. They're little tiny guns, 9mm. But I told them I went and bought that Sky pistol for $180, and I said the difference is if I shoot somebody with the Sky, I can just throw it down an open manhole cover and walk off and not sweat it. Where you drop the hammer on a $600-700 gun, and then the police are going to end up with it as evidence, whatever, one way or the other. But yeah. So yeah, I may go out and shoot some of them guns drawing from the holster and do some other stuff. Gonna test a bunch of magazines. Now the weather's getting sucky, so I'm going to probably be reloading and doing more reloading videos. So if you want reload data, now's a good time to get a membership. But the holiday season is upon us. I can't do a questionnaire here. Anybody going out and doing any shopping on Black Friday? I've been tempted. I've never done it. It's not something. I forget what the hell do we do. Black Friday was a tradition with me and my wife when Gander Mountain had a store open. We used to have dinner, and then we would go to Gander Mountain, or that Friday morning, we would drive over to Gander Mountain and go in there, not right when they open, but we just go in there and look at the people running around inside that place. Me and my wife did that for years until Gander Mountain folded up. Yeah, society was very different 50 years ago. Okay, everything was different. Just about everybody, every relative I had, we lived on the edge of the Adirondack State Park. 15 minutes north of the city I lived in, you were in woods. Okay. And you kept going, you were really in woods. Everybody hunted, even though we all lived in the city. Everyone had a shotgun, a 22. My grandfather used to go way up north, so he had a rifle. But every house had a shotgun, a 22, and probably 30-30 rifle, or an old military gun like my granddaddy brought home, had it converted. But everyone had a gun in the house. Okay, even my father had a pump 12 gauge. He went hunting a few times before he got married and put the thing in a closet, and it stayed there. I got it now, but yeah, it gets, yeah, things are different. Lord, no. OT gets crazy. OT. 16-inch 16-inch naval gun. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's in there. The Pieta 1858. That's another thing. Where the hell's my? I'll get the paper. Somebody was saying, "Oh, you didn't hold it up long enough for me to read it." Well, get your own newspaper. Get to the gun page here. Yes. Ever since, the plague and the interruption of everything, you used to be able, I know Bass Pro, and that's kind of why I got a charge card. A lot of my guns I got from either Cabela's or Bass Pro, the black powder guns, and they would have a sale. And I remember paying about this two something for them because I had the Navy, the Remington New Army, 1858 New Army. I had that, both the long and the short barrel. The short barrel I sold. I like the long barrel. I didn't figure why I have, two of them. 249. They went up. I mean, I forget. I think Colt Walker's 500. I don't know what the prices were. They're a lot more than what they used to be. Put it to you that way, like almost double. Okay. So yeah, I'd go for that one. That's a good price. You know, but I got one already. Locking the front door. Oh yeah, I told you, society was a lot different way back. All right. 650 pounds of very slow burning per a 2,600 pound projectile. Well, that's pretty interesting there. I never knew how much powder you put behind a 16-inch battleship naval shell. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to any stores on Black Friday. Okay, online. Now, online, there's a lot of deals, and I mean, they're lowering them. They started to bring them up. Now, this paper says that these prices are only good Friday, November 29th, online and in stores. I don't know what they mean by that. I have ordered guns from, Sportsman's Warehouse online. How is this? Um, and gone to the local store and picked them up because the local store didn't have them. Or if the local store does have them and it's in stock, you just order it and then you go there after lunchtime and pick the gun up. If you order it in the morning, they pull that shit on me. I don't see why I couldn't have gone down there when they opened, but you have to have an appointment. So I don't know how the online works. Does that work at midnight on the 26th or 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? What about people living out in the other time zones? Kind of don't know how that all goes. But yeah, online. Yeah, I mean, I screwed up. I should have bought 1,000. Now the only thing they got is the 5,000 cartons, and I don't need 5,000. I still have enough. I was supposed to go out this summer and shoot all them revolvers, and some of them I haven't shot, but that didn't happen. So it gives me something to look forward for next year. So I have plans. I have plans. I had an old Winchester Trapper I bought that thing a long time ago, and I like shooting it with a 60-inch barrel. It was accurate enough out to about 75 yards, you know, and if you were hunting hogs or something or up close deer or something like that, it would probably be a good thing. But yeah, I ended up selling it. Just sat in the safe for years on end. You know, ooh, that's a deal. Okay, because I don't know what. See, I don't even know what the going rate is. I know it's 60 some odd dollars, 70, and then if you order it, it's one thing. But then see, at Cabela's, I got to drive 2 hours to Raleigh to get to Cabela's. You know, that's my problem. And Chris is shopping. Find made in USA gifts. Yeah, I guess that would be a challenge. Uh, you know, if that's a criteria. Nice price on Varga. Yeah, it is. Yoper. Native of Upper Pennsylvania, Michigan. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Even when they got a sale on primers. But unless I buy, like 10,000 or 15,000, you got to buy them in brick. You have to buy a lot, and you're talking a ton of money, and then that hazmat fee, you spread it out over a huge quantity. That's what I used to do when I shot trap. I used to buy the damn 8 pound jugs of powder, 2 or 4 at a time. One time I got them 4 at a time, and I'd buy the primers, you know, 5,000 at a time, and then that way it would spread it out the hazmat fee. Okay, I think back then it was only like $20. I think about $20. So if you had 10 items or something, it was $2 an item. So you'd want to get so many units or whatever. Uh, thanks. Uper assault rifle. Hmm. Yeah, but I calculated they kind of hide that in the shipping. They do give you somewhat of a break to move inventory, but I've done that. You know, they kind of. It's always best if you can get it right local and pick it up, but that don't quite happen. Any of the local places I used to have to drive to Kernersville at one store, they fully stocked in one gun shop, fully stocked all reloading supplies, all kinds of powder, any type of U.S. made primer you wanted, and all that other fun stuff. But the people kind of retired; they were getting older, and they sold it to that one guy, and he did it for a while. Then he eliminated all the reloading stuff because it's kind of like the guy and his wife ran it, and like the gentleman and a couple men on the counter, would do all the gun sales, and if you needed anything in terms of primers and that behind the counter, they always kept the primers. You have to talk to the missus, and I guess she managed all that. And if you'd ask her when you're going to get this in or that, she'd tell you just stop by or call. Every Thursday is when they deliver, and so when you needed anything in the reloading department, you had to talk to her, and she kept track of it all and pretty good about it. No, they don't. From Fort Worth. Yep. Morning. All right, finally catching the live. Glad. Well, I'm glad you showed up, Matt. Yeah, so like I said, I had one thing to keep my eye on. 2.5 for the coach gun. So that's the lowest. I can get it online for $20 more if I don't want to have to go out in the freezing cold, stand there in line. But I think maybe it'd be a kick and bring my phone and make some video footage of the melee to have fun. All right, Wisconsin. Pete. Oh, my health? Well, I had problems. I just got some of my dentures. That's what I've been busy with this week. So now I can eat normal again. But the shaking in my hand came from a stroke, and that's just progressively got worse over the years. And it got to where I had to stop working. And once I stopped working, the control of my hand is a lot worse. And I've been in physical therapy. I've been to some of the best neurologists there. There's nothing they can do. And other than giving you some kind of medication that fricks with your mind to the point where you don't move, they can't do anything other than to make an excuse. They wanted to stick a wire in, because where the damage is deep in the center of my brain. And they wanted to put like a pacemaker with a wire going down there to stimulate it. And then the nurse whispers to me, they can do that. And there's no guarantee it'll do anything for you to make it better. So, I go there. They said, there's nothing we can do. We can't fix it, do this other than stick some battery operated thing in my skull. And I said, nah, that's all right. But other than that, my heart's doing good and stuff. I don't have any problems with that. It's just diabetes drives me nuts. Unless I don't eat a damn thing that has any preservatives or comes out of a store or any baked goods or anything, I'm fine. Like I said, the damn hand is getting bad. Yeah, that whatchamacallit, that one fella I know, I seen that where I used to watch his videos, and I remember he made something, I guess, whenever he found out he was sick, and somebody was helping him make some videos towards the end, and then he made his last video, I guess, before he passed away. It was very sorry, he made some good content. I mean, he was a very good creator, man. I'm sorry that that happened to him. No, hidden hammers. Exposed hammers are going to knock it up to $600, but they got them. No, I don't mind. I talk about it. It's people do ask, and nothing to be embarrassed about. But it's there's a reason, because some people keep trying to tell me to take herbal remedies or snake oil or something to keep my hands from shaking, and that ain't the problem. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, he made some good content, very sensible stuff. I did like his videos an awful lot. Pull down powder. Okay. I got that stand. It's not really stable. I had it. I wanted something that can work like in the winter months instead of being in the garage in the house. And what I did is I bought that uh, progressive reloader, reviewed it, and actually, it's not that terrible for what you paid for it. And I mean, it had a lot of features and putting a bullet. The only thing was the little fingers that would stick to cast bullets would get sticky with certain types of lubricant, and then you had to constantly pull the fingers out and that. But what I use it for now is I set them that tray and the tubes up, and I'll put the brass in there, generally pistol brass. I did, I don't know, a huge giant box of 9 millimeter. And what I do is just come down with a carbide sizer, rotate it around, hit it with the neck expander, expand it for the bullet that I'm going to use, and I just cycle through them when I'm bored, hours and hours at a time. And once I got them deprimed and expanded, I will wet tumble them in a tumbler, clean them, dry them out, and then prime them. And I just see another thing I did. It's like, what's his name there? Readiness review. Got a bullet stuck in his rifle. This last video we did. Uh, I make sure I like putting them on the loading blocks. I look down, check them all, make sure they're all got a full charge. I don't like using progressive reloaders because I did run into squib loads with them. Uh, so, and then I just go and run that stuff. That Patriot Bone. Nutrient. That's some sort of medication or something. The thing is, where this blood vessel ruptured, the tissue in my brain has shrunk. There's actually a hole in my brain somewhere, and there's nothing. It's motion and sensation. I can take a needle. It's weird, and go down my arm and stick it here, and I feel it. Move it down an inch and stab right to the bone. I don't feel a thing. That's why I got to watch where I put these two fingers. It was dangerous at work. I could get them underneath something and not feel it and actually tear my fingers off. I don't have the neuropathy from diabetes. Okay. I have the neuropathy from brain damage. It's a different thing. Yeah, it is. If I just don't eat anything processed, they're giving me just about every friggin' medication that they can in maximum doses. Uh, it comes down to what the hell I eat. And there's a lot of stuff I can't eat. I eat like plain meat, very little bread, if any, and vegetables. And there's people, if you watch YouTube, there's guys that's what he does. He eats some vegetable soup and that all the time and that. And But then again, you know, when I get my A1C done, they don't like it when it's up to 8 or something or over 7. They want it under 7, and that's a pain in the ass to get. But yeah, I don't have the neuropathy from the diabetes. It's two different things. No, no, the squirrels mauled it, and the animals here between the deer, squirrels, and raccoons, uh, we don't have a garden. Oh, all right. Yeah, I've lost about 3 friends to that. Okay, and yeah, I know. Just recently, one of my friends off the ship passed away a few months ago from it, and then my other buddy was 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago, he had pancreatic cancer. And it's not that good. It's not a good thing. Desperado sawed-offs by American Gun Company. I really didn't pay attention to that. I know they made the Mossberg made the Shockwave, and I did see where they're having some side by sides like that. But I basically like to uh, just review the guns that are dirt cheap. Not so and they happen to be shotguns. Pretty damn cool. None, and I think I seen something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I kind of glanced at it. Not something I was interested in, so I didn't get in depth. Do, do, do. American Gun Company. Do, 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 do. Knickerbocker shotgun. No. Well, American Gun Company brings up an old thing. All right, I found it. Do 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 do. Okay, that's what I thought. Some kind of muzzle loader, but at 11,887 retail. Not really something I'm interested in. Yep, no FFL needed. Well, yeah, see, that's another thing. You live where it's too hot, I live where it's too cold. Now I know a guy that bought a whole bunch of that stuff, and it's for the 50 caliber spotting rounds and something else. I looked it up, and it's more of a pain to reload that stuff than it is to use it. And there is no data. You got to kind of guess at it. Yeah. It means you drive a lead pellet down the barrel with a wooden or brass rod, and you measure the rifling. That's what slugging a barrel is. It's taking the measurement of the groove diameter. Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know. I've casted them in the basement and in the garage for years and never had no trouble. Never had. And I took industrial tests, for lead, arsenic, everything. I've had industrial blood work done. Actually, the neurologist did that to see if I had any type of industrial poisoning causing this. And I was clean after working in factories around oil and stuff and casting my own bullets for years and handling lead and being in an indoor range. They do that to somebody who works in the police ranges, and that they have to go get tested for lead poisoning or the level of it in your bloodstream. Yeah, I come up good. Well, it did get better. Like I said, if I just don't eat or eat light, I can still balance it. It's just, now that I'm not working, the problem was when you're working 10, 12 hours a day, you didn't eat at certain times or you eat right before you crash. And that don't help to eat before you go to sleep real quick. So, yeah. And that's, yeah, my legs swell up too. They don't know why. It could be dehydration. It could be, or old age or this or that. Yeah, it depends what way too much is, you know. I mean, just a couple beers every now and again, every other day ain't gonna kill you. But, like some folks, drinking a case or so a day ain't a real good plan. Morning. Yeah, but see, I don't know how they test you. Does it start with like pancreatitis or something? Or, like I have to go get blood work every 6 months. Okay, for the A1C and all that. And then once if I maintain a certain level, they make it once a year. And if it's way too high, I have to go every 3 months. So I have a lot of lab work done. And I don't know that they look for, I know they check your liver function and several different things in general to see. I guess supposedly you're supposed to go for your yearly physical, and they should be able to kind of find that. I always thought. But I know several people, of course, and again, I don't know if they actually went to a doctor and had a physical every year. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, if you and it's black powder, even though it's like an inline thing. You know, if you need one that bad, to me, I I have a hard time shooting a damn pistol. Nevertheless, a sawed-off shotgun. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've heard from people it's unpleasant treatment. I don't use them. I don't use. Truthfully, I really like iron sights. Okay, I don't put lights on my gun, and I don't use laser attachments. I put that sight on. Uh, I put an optical sight on the dagger just to say I did, and I got the hang of it. I don't like them. To me, iron sights is what I use, and I don't use a laser. I think I had one once or something. I can't remember, but I don't use them, so I really don't have an opinion on them, which one's better. Well, figure out which one you want. Somebody on YouTube should be reviewing it. I know they review them uh, a lot, so stigmatism could be. I do like the green reticles lit up better than the red, and I do have astigmatism. Yeah, that's what I had. I had a couple scopes like that where you can light them up. But so you know when you get real cheap ones, I had one I put on something, either a pistol. I built an AR pistol, and I think I got 10 rounds out of the gun for the thing shattered. But it was like a $30 item. Like $700. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And Phoenix. Now those I've shot them way back, you know, 50 years ago. Those were pretty good guns. I think they were $95 or about $100 for one. Because somebody won one at a raffle, and I was going to join this black powder shooting club up in the Adirondacks. And one old guy I worked with, he brought in this gun. The guy wanted a raffle, and it was a Hawken, and I think he wanted $95 or something. So whatever it was in the store, that's what he wanted for the gun. I kind of passed on it. Shouldn't have, but Marlin wasn't. What happened is when they got bought and sold out in the smaller companies like Savage, okay, Savage did make some decent guns for a while until they were sucked up into some other company, and a lot of their budget stuff would get the other company's name put on there. Yeah, what pull down number powder? Pull down powder is like surplus powder. It's either pulled down from artillery shells or usually 20 millimeter shells or something, and it'll be packaged in a generic container. It's surplus powder for something other than small arms uh, powder. It's usually 50 cal, 20 millimeter, and that's what Lorraine Mitchell was asking. He's kind of an expert in that field. Um, and actually, he does buy a lot of that old surplus powder. That's what they're talking about. Hmm. Yeah, that's had throat pain. It wouldn't go away. Hmm. I mean, that's the scary thing. Like you said, it got caught soon enough, but you know, who the hell ever think you got an ache or pain? I had a lot of them, had them for years. So I'll talk to my doctor next time just to make sure what I should look for. Yeah, that, because I find pulled bullets a lot. And I used to do that when I was out at sea. Of course, then again, when we hit the water, it'd be months at a time I didn't have a drink. As long as you ain't driving nowhere. Look at American Reloading or CBS. Yep, iron sights. You don't have to change the batteries. Okay, green better than red. Yeah, the Ruger Old Army is a nice gun. Actually, when you go to the international shoots, most people in in Europe, because of the laws, the international pistol shoots are done with black powder guns, and the Ruger Old Army is like number one for the guys that are go. Wholesome Gold Dot. Yeah, see that's yeah. It depends who you're buying from and what the condition is. Yeah, convert them. Convert the black powder guns over there. You might as well just go buy from uh, one of the companies a gun of that time period. You a felon or live in California. Uh, Thompson Center is back. Smith & Wesson sold it back to one of their ex-employees. Okay. Somebody's going to run their own startup. Yep, I haven't gotten one yet. Ball powder was originally developed to use up an old naval cannon powder by reprocessing it, a form that can be used in small. How old? 1900 old or something? You have installed lights for targets at night? If you're asking me that, no. Yeah. All right, so I don't know. They actually pull apart old military ammo and dump the powder out. I didn't know they did that. All right, let's get caught up here. Yeah, I know. All of those guns are expensive. For me, World War I era. Okay, I thought so. That I don't remember. Spaghetti back in the day, maybe. All right, we've caught up. We've gone over an hour, but good discussion, guys. A little bit. When you get older, you talk about health issues and that. And, glad to hear Thompson Center's coming back. Black powder, some reloading questions, and that. See, I don't buy the surplus powder or pull downs, even the pull down bullets. I've seen them, and I don't know much about them. So yeah, that's not one of my field of expertise. But it looks like I'm going to get going here. It's getting close to an hour and a half. No, it was good that all you fellas showed up. Had a pretty lively discussion, covered a lot of different things. It was pretty cool. We'll be back probably next Sunday after Thanksgiving, the 1st. We'll be back on our Sunday schedule again. I don't know about Thanksgiving or the weekend. Maybe we can do a live on Thanksgiving or something for all of us that are bored and had enough of Thanksgiving. Or on the Friday, doesn't matter. Leave a comment. Go to this live, leave a comment what you like. I may do it. Depends how bored I am. Or I may go Black Friday, go up to Sportsman's Warehouse and be bold, and see what the hell happens. I don't know. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much for showing up, hanging out. The discussion was pretty lively today, and I enjoyed it. And I thank all of you for showing up and participating and showing your support. Okay, so well, if I don't see you fellas, have a happy Thanksgiving, and everybody take it easy.